Peace. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd. Making today's math.
Wisdom?
Correct.
You know what? I don't think I ever did a double digit. I wasn't sure.
Well, there you go.
I wasn't sure how
Come on, finish it up. Wisdom.
Okay, wisdom, all being born to culture freedom.
Correct. Okay. Use your wise words and you know what I mean? Others use their wise words, and when we come together and converse with each other, that's a culture right there that we create. Peace to the gods and earths. Peace. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. Lord Jamar.
Digga.
Ha. We got our special guest in the house right about this time.
Yep.
Oh, I've been waiting for my brother to come on up here. A lot of people thought he might not make his way up here. They're thinking, oh, you always be up on DJ Vlad. I bet you he ain't never going to come up on your show. Well, God damn it, the time has come. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Yanadameen Godcast, my man, DJ Vlad. What's good, V-Lad?
What's up?
Now, for many people, first of all, yes, make sure the mic is just on this side of you. There we go.
All right, here we go.
Because for many people, this is their first time seeing your fucking face.
Right.
Usually you are a disembodied voice on the mic.
Right.
Great to have you, my brother.
Hey, man, come on. It's Lord Jamar.
What's poppin'?
Come on, man.
And now
it's an honor to be here right now.
Hey,
it is.
It's an honor to have you, man. This dude right here, I mean, listen, he helped. You know what I mean? He the first one that put me on to some internet talking shit, you know, because I know how to talk, but little did we know that, you know, it would resonate with people. You know what I mean? And I guess he was the first one that saw that. And you know, brought me back and continues to bring me back.
And do you know there are actually people that say, I like you better on Vlad, Lord Jamar. You know, you more raw and unfiltered on Vlad. See, they think I'm the industry playing here to make a kinder, gentler you.
I don't know why, because
I'm making you soft.
Listen, I don't know what that's about.
I'm making you care about people's feelings, but they don't like me.
Trust me, you know, it's always raw and unfiltered. So anyway, you got the VladTV, I guess the biggest, probably right now, the biggest hip hop blog site. Yes,
I mean, we're one of them.
You're one of them, right?
We're one of them.
You, World Star, stuff like that.
We each kind of have our own, you know, like different platforms that we're bigger on. So like I'm bigger on the YouTube side in terms of like original content,
right,
and interviews. They're bigger on like the Instagram side and the, kind of the website side, and
right.
You know, I mean, Hot New Hip Hop sort of has their own niche in terms of new music and so forth. And everyone who's still here, because a lot of people are gone right now. A lot of companies are gone now, but everyone that's still here is doing its thing in its own way.
So how long have you been doing this shit, and how did you get into this? Like, what made, you know, DJ Vlad say, I want to start putting videos up on YouTube, and hopefully that can be a thing?
Well, it was 10 years ago. I think this month.
Okay.
I think August of 2008. I was doing street DVDs. You know, like Smack was probably the most popular in that genre, but we had Hot in Here DVD. Okay. You know, which had its own following, and we interviewed a lot of people. And I would just grab a camera and interview people. Go on music video sets and just wait my turn, or go on media days, or use my connects, go to studios and everything. And I was doing that, but people weren't buying DVDs anymore. Right. So I was struggling. You know, I was trying to work harder every month to make the same amount of money from last month. And YouTube was around, but it wasn't monetized. It was just some free shit that people used, kinda. You know, Google had bought them, and they was just kind of seeing what was going on. But when they introduced the business side of YouTube, I instantly saw the vision of where it's going to go and how big it's going to be. It's like, oh, you could take these videos and put them on bigger sites and, you know, share it with people and move it around. I'm like, this is going to be the next big thing. This is going to be bigger than television. So I just stopped everything else that I was doing. I stopped DJing. I stopped making mixtapes. I stopped making DVDs. I stopped making documentaries, which I was, doing at the time. And I said, I'm just going to do this 100%.
Okay.
Anything?
Well, I'm curious to know how you two started, developed a relationship and
It was from Kanye?
Yeah, you going on Twitter talking about Kanye's skirt.
Right.
How did you feel when Kanye rocked the skirt?
Not good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, that's not hip hop to me. You understand what I'm saying? That really has no place in hip hop. And the only reason why an individual would do something like that is purely out of ego, arrogance, and lack of knowledge of themselves.
That's
I went
how it
on.
started.
Yeah, well, I went on Instagram actually, and I guess Twitter.
Oh, was it Instagram?
Yeah,
you might
I
be
went
right.
on Instagram and Twitter, and made a statement basically about how they're trying to feminize the black man, and I showed an example of a guy wearing a skirt and a blazer at the same time, and I was basically said, we have Kanye to thank for this, okay? So somebody had contacted me, like one of those, some sort of blog or whatever, but they do written blogs or whatever, and he said, do you want to do an interview about that post? And I was like, all right, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, ain't nobody scared of Kanye. You know what I mean? So we did the interview. It did all right. I don't know if you saw that interview.
I think I may have, yeah.
That's probably what it
have.
was. And because it went around a little bit, but it wasn't as big as, like, some Vlad shit. So then he hits me up, and he's like, do you want to go on camera and talk about this? I was like, fuck it. And it's funny because I had not too far in front of that discovered like VladTV and like was watching the videos, and I just liked the format and just, you know what I mean? It looked like some cool shit. So then for him to call me, I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I go on there. I fucks with this. And then when I went on there and did that one, the shit just got real crazy. What the shit did like 750,000 views or some crazy shit.
Yeah, it did numbers.
Yeah, just from just talking regular Lord J shit. You know what I mean?
okay.
So then it was like, hey, you want to come back? Sure, why not? Now I inadvertently say that white people are the guests in the house of hip hop.
Right.
And now that wasn't even supposed to be the topic of what we were even talking about.
Yeah.
That was just some shit I said in the middle of
In the midst
speaking.
of something else.
And
It became a catchphrase.
that became a thing. And now this shit just got crazy.
There's an interesting backstory about the white people and our guests in the House of Hip Hop. Is that before I ever interviewed Jamar, I had done an interview years before where they asked me about white people's role in hip hop, and I said I consider myself a guest in the House of Hip Hop.
Oh wow.
That interview got unearthed, and it never came out. Remember I showed it to you.
Yeah, she
Remember,
did.
I'm
Yep,
like,
yep,
yo,
yep.
look at this. This came out years before you said it,
I'm
and we
like,
was
wow.
just because I felt the same way. I said I felt lucky that I could be doing hip hop as a job.
Well, that now that you say that, like, how did you even get into hip hop? Shout out, thank you, Freddie Sharkey. How did you even get into hip hop? First of all, what's your background?
I was born in what used to be Russia. Used to be the Soviet Union. It's now the Ukraine.
Right.
Kiev. Me and my family moved to the U.S. when I was about 5 years old.
Okay.
Lived in Massachusetts, then settled in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And when hip hop started to go national, like with breakdancing and stuff like that, I just fell in love with it. I started breakdancing.
How did you get exposed to it?
There was like some TV shit. I remember the New York City Breakers were a thing.
Right.
I remember seeing that. And then you started slowly seeing videos like Malcolm McLaren, Buffalo Gals. I remember, and the message started
And
coming
now
out.
Malcolm McLaren, Buffalo Gals and all that. He's with the world famous Supreme Team, and that's the gods right there.
Okay, I
Understand?
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a white guy fucking with the gods early. You see what I'm saying? Like you're like the new Malcolm McLaren right now.
Okay,
Fucking with the god.
I'll be that. I'll be that. And you know, Keith Haring did the artwork of that album cover. And I just started, you know, like these songs weren't being played on the radio, so I started collecting vinyl. I started just saving all my, you know, paper route money and then going to Warehouse Records and buying a vinyl, hoping that it's going to be dope.
Right. Oh, that's what it used to be back in the day.
Just hoping that it was going to be dope.
Yep.
And that's how I discovered The Message and, you know, like the Johnson Crew and, you know, a lot of like the West Coast electro stuff like Egyptian Lover.
So you're buying these records.
Yeah.
Little white Russian kid in the Bay.
Yeah. And breakdancing. Like,
and you were actively breakdancing.
And I had a little crew that
spinning on your head and your back and all that.
Spinning on my
was
head.
Was you nice or you so-so? Tell the
Did
truth.
The crab. You know what it was?
I want to see the footage.
I never felt I was that nice because I couldn't windmill.
Right.
I could never get the windmill, and that's why I ultimately quit. Because
I could never fully get the windmill.
Yeah.
Either.
Did you see Jadakiss do it recently?
I did.
I could do two.
He's nice.
I couldn't get past two. I couldn't get past the second one.
I couldn't windmill, so I kind of said, well, you know, this is like
you can't be a real breaker.
Can't be a real breakdancer without windmilling. So that's kind of where I stopped.
Okay. Were you popping and shit?
Yeah, all that. All that.
Okay, so you're collecting records, and this now you fuck around and get so many records that you say I might as well be a DJ. Is that what happens?
No, that's not what happened at all, actually.
And like what kind of like you see what I'm saying? Were you hanging around like a lot of black kids or like you understand?
There weren't really a lot of black kids in my area. I grew up in San Mateo.
So were you odd? Were you the odd guy?
I was kind of the odd guy. But, you know, you got to understand at the time, I'm the only Russian kid in this whole area. My name is Vlad, and Russia's like the devil at this point.
Right, Vlad the Impaler.
Well, no, like Russia itself. Like there was talk of a nuclear war during this time. I was really like hated. You know,
remember they used to have movies like Reds and all that type of shit.
Red Dawn, Red Dawn. You know, the day after, like shit like
Russia
that.
was really
if
the ops.
He dies. You was a cold-hearted fucking
right.
Red Curtain.
And I had like a little crew of kids. Like it was like one black kid, one kind of like Spanish kid, me. We had a little breakdance crew. And, you know, that kind of went.
Y'all are the international breakers?
Yeah, something like that. I think my name was Fresh Rock. That was my name.
Okay.
Fresh Rock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And, I got into the breaking shit. And then once I stopped breaking, I just kept listening to hip hop. And when Eazy-E and NWA hit was really when I started to really really love it.
Okay, so now what makes you feel like you could start putting out DVD? What makes you feel like you could start making money through hip hop? So
I go to
let's get to it.
Let's do it. So I go to UC Berkeley, right? And then there's a hip hop scene out there. Like where I was living in San Mateo, there was none. But Berkeley, Oakland was a scene. Hieroglyphics was getting signed and putting out records that we were all loving. And I just started like producing a little bit. I got a little beat machine, you know, because I'd played some instruments in you know, junior high, saxophone and clarinet and you know, a little bit of guitar and, you know, a little bit of piano and stuff like that. So I started making beats, and I just started going real heavy at it. Like I kept making beats and kept making beats and kept making beats. And then one day I realized it wasn't going to be Dr. Dre or DJ Premier. I realized it just wasn't that. I didn't have that best in the world thing. And I moved into this new house, and, you know, I had these DJ friends of mine, DJ, and they left their equipment, and I'd been making beats for so long, I jumped on the turntables, and it just came natural.
Wait, can we rewind for a second? Because you just said some shit that like white people will say real casually, but like, we need to know how you get there. Yeah. You moved into a new house. How'd you do that?
At the time,
you know how casual motherfuckers just be like, "Oh, I moved into a new house." For a lot of people, that's a big step. How'd you move into a new house?
It was an apartment. It was an apartment at the time.
How? What were you doing to make money at the time?
Well, at UC Berkeley, I was a computer science major. Right. And as the World Wide Web was forming, I was sort of in the epicenter of all that. So I was going to school,
bubble?
I was in the bubble. Like, while I was still in school, I started working for Intel and Sun Microsystems and Autodesk, like the 3D companies. And it was like I graduated and the .com thing was going crazy, right? And motherfuckers was paying me 6 digits out of high school, out of college. So I was making money.
Nice. Okay.
I was making money. Then I launched my own company, like my own like recruiting company. And I was making money hand over fist, and it was coming crazy. I got a big apartment. I got the 500 SL drop top, and you know how I got the big office.
Oh, wow.
And this is some shit I wanted to talk to you about too, but I'm gonna wait till the next set because I need you to stay with us.
Okay.
Because I know you're up on this whole financial kick, and you got Vlad stocks. I want to talk to you about all that, but I want you to remember what the fuck you said you did when you first got some fucking money. But we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to that. Yeah, because I got a point to prove.
Okay.
Yeah, Digga, you got anything you want to ask the gentleman?
I want to put you in the hot seat.
Okay.
Lukewarm seat. Lukewarm seat.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So I have a slight issue with your platform as a whole.
Okay.
I feel like it perpetuates a lot of the nonsense that we are trying to put a halt to in hip hop. And I'll say this respectfully. I've been invited up to Vlad twice in my entire career.
You didn't come.
No. Let me break it down. The 2 times that I've been invited to Vlad in my career, the first time was after I made a diss track towards Tyler, the Creator.
Okay.
I did come for that. I came for that.
Okay, I didn't do the interview though, did I?
No, you didn't. You didn't do the interview.
Yeah.
I did speak on that.
Okay, yeah, that's why I forgot. My bad. Yeah,
No, that's cool.
You did come. My bad.
But the second time I was invited was after a little, thing went viral. Some comments I made about Iggy Azalea.
Okay.
And that I declined that because I just felt like at the time I said what I said when I said it. I didn't need to repeat it. But my issue with that was I consider myself, for the most part, a positive artist. Like I'm not really out here shit starting. Like in the midst of all my hardcore digga, I feel like as Dirty Harriet, I've always attempted to preach the gospel and really show females another way to do this without, selling themselves sexually. How come I've never been invited up just to talk about that?
I think you have been.
I don't know, Vlad.
I believe once you started doing the thing with Jamar, I think we reached out. I'm serious. You didn't get that?
I'm gonna let me go back through my scrolls. I'll go back through the scrolls. But see, I just started this with Jamar this year. I've been in the game since I got my first deal. I mean, even before, officially signing in 96. Like, why not just invite me up to talk about how female struggles in the industry, or how do you survive, how do you balance motherhood with hip hop? Like, why are those type of topics like not clickbaitable?
Do you want me to keep it 100%?
Keep it 100.
A lot of my job is to look at the numbers and the statistics, right? We're like a tech company as much as we are a content company, and we are 90% male. It's not like a 60-40, it's like a 90% male audience. And historically, when we had females on the show, they didn't do numbers.
Okay.
So if you look at VladTV as a whole, and you scroll down all the people we've interviewed, there have been some females, like Roxanne Shante.
No, you've definitely had females, but
if you look at it, it's like literally like maybe 5% female guests. That's not because I don't like females or I don't like talking to females. It's just that we have to cater to our audience, and our audience is 90% male, and they want to hear other males talk.
So aside from so let's put aside.
And to me, that's kind of what hip hop is about.
Okay, so let's put aside let's put aside male and female stuff. Now, what happens when you have two artists that are beefing? We know they're beefing, and you're going back and forth between these two artists, getting them to just kind of gush. Is there any part of you that feels like, you know what, maybe I need to fall back from this topic, or maybe I need to fall back from this situation? Like, does the moral kick in? Like, you know what, this could, I know this gonna go sideways real quick. Let me just shut this whole thing down. Does that happen?
We shut down a lot of stuff. Like, for example, when we interviewed No Plug about the Bankroll Fresh murder.
And that's what I didn't want to say it, but that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the killing, of Bankroll Fresh in that situation, a whole bunch of other people want to speak on it afterwards ourselves. But we felt like if we continue to put people on, it's going to escalate the situation. And we felt that his story was accurate based on the police reports and how he turned himself in. A person's not just going to kill somebody and go do an interview about it if they were guilty.
Right.
And ultimately, a year and a half later, Atlanta PD released the video footage, and it actually shows Bankroll Fresh shooting at the car. But if we started interviewing the other side and his uncle and the cousin and everything else like that, it was like, this is going to keep escalating.
That's actually the situation I was referring to. I was a little, I get why, you let him speak. I was a little uncomfortable press and play, but I mean, I pressed play.
It was uncomfortable because he didn't show remorse about the situation. He was laying next to a pile of money, and he was smiling sometimes, and it was an uncomfortable interview. But it was the truth. Ultimately, what came out to be the truth afterwards, and our job is to report on things that are uncomfortable sometimes, and that was one of those situations.
Okay, but you did say, okay, we're not gonna
we're done. We're not doing any.
Okay.
If you look, there was no more interviews.
Okay.
From the No Plug incident, and trust me, and people were upset. Like, his uncle wrote this big long letter about how much he hates me and how he's going to finish me off, and it was all because we did not agree to do an interview.
Didn't let
the uncle and the cousin and everything else do the interview, because I'm like, let's just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that situation going downhill real fast, and I was just curious, like, did somebody step in, or was okay?
We made the decision to stop it at that point.
We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with more DJ Vlad, Yanadameen Godcast.
Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. Two fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian peace gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. Snapbacks. Available at hoodg.com. Get yours today.